Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again with yet another Marvel Select video. And today, we've got 3 new figures from Diamond Select. Pretty cool-looking characters. Huge, honking characters, at least 2 of them. And they got all that gorgeous artwork on the box to boot. Now, first and foremost, we have the Red Hulk, which utilizes the prior release Green Hulk body. It's kind of sort of what happens when General Thunderbolt Ross ingests a bunch of red hot candy, I'm assuming, and he becomes the Red Hulk. And this is actually pretty cool. This thing is so heavy, it's got some Malebolgia vibes right there and keeping the package together. You can read up on the Red Hulk, of course, and this guy was sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios with design by Yuri Tamim. So thank you very much for that. Next up, another huge honking horse corpse alien thing. We have Beta Ray Bill. And he was on display at Comic-Con, if I'm thinking correctly, but this is a really nice looking figure with equally nice artwork to boot. So it's more of his most recent costume in the whole comics situation. And then we have the Vision, which this is kind of like the first time seeing everything in the box. We kind of just knew Vision was coming, but what his accessories were, well, we'll be checking those out. You can read up on old Vision right there if you'd like. The design of the figure is by Eamon O'Donoghue, and it's sculpted by May Tham Tarana. So thank you again for that. So this is going to be fun. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at 3 of the brand new Diamond Select Marvel Select action figures in that 7-inch scale. Beta Ray Bill, the Vision, and Red Hulk. And while I got all you WandaVisions here, I just want to say thanks so much for always checking out my YouTube videos. Now, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Old toys, new toys, daily news updates. I guarantee you'll find something here that you like. But enough about all that. We got a Red Hulk to check out, and he is red. And not only is he red, it's a giant, massive figure. That's why they do those big clamshells, huh? But he comes with 2 giant hands to go with this giant figure, fisted hands, and then open clobbering hands, which are pretty darn cool. I like the shading on this Red Hulk. It's a little bit of a darker tone, but it mixes well. And don't be shocked to see, in the vein of NECA toys, they do paint the pegs of the hand joints and whatnot, so you will see some flacature. But overall, the sculpting is nice. You can see all the veins in the hands. I totally dig that. That's awesome. And then you have the Red Hulk himself. Let me adjust the camera there. There we go. He's a big hulking Hulk. Not too shabby. Got to give it to him. Now, I don't have their prior released Green Hulk utilizing this new body tone, but, I mean, it's pretty darn good. He's got some big clodhopper feet. He's got peg holes on the bottom. On the backside, great paint, great wash. Everything looks great. But I got to tell you, I mean, this thing is heavy. Let's go ahead and weigh this thing, right? Let's see what this is. 1 pound, 10.6 ounces. Yeah, it's a brick of a figure. It's like a murder weapon right there. So, nice. Very cool to have a seriously hefty, heavy figure. Not too shabby at all. And perfectly fitting for a Red Hulk, right? Now, a lot of times, I think a lot of people look at Diamond Select, Marvel Select, and they go, you know, the articulation isn't great. It's not what I'm looking for in a more modern action figure. And I will tell you this. What it lacks on the articulation, even though it does have a lot of points of articulation, more than makes up for in the paint and the sculpt. And that's what I appreciate Marvel Select for. Plus, when they do these bigger type figures, if you have Marvel Legends, usually they do fit in pretty well. So we'll get some Marvel Legends out too in this video. But the joints, and I'm going to say this clear across the board for all 3 figures we're going to look at today, you're going to want to heat them up because they are really stuck. I mean, even trying to move his waist right here, it's slim to nil. And the legs are fine, don't get me wrong. He does have thigh swivel, although you see how hard I'm trying to twist this thing. Then you have double jointed knees, which again, I'm just going to reiterate over and over, heat these up because these joints across the board, all 3 figures, are incredibly stuck. But once you get them unstuck and you get them posed out, the articulation is fine. Again, I am one of those collectors that I appreciate the sculpt, the heftiness, the look of the figure, how it correlates to the comics over articulation any day. And to see him next to the recent Marvel Legends Compound Hulk by Hasbro, I'm not going to get both Hulks out. You get the idea. They use the same body, just like Diamond Select. But yes, you are getting a giant 7-inch scale now Red Hulk as opposed to the more 6-inch scaled Marvel Legends. Is it better? Does it fit better? It's up to you. It kind of depends on how you see the Red Hulk. I think that for the most part it fits in. I think that they utilize the paint a lot better for Diamond Select. See how the toenails, the fingernails aren't painted. However, he does have that clear mark. The faces are equal. You know, it's like you got the more snarling face, you got the more grinning face. So it just depends on your taste. In terms of other Marvel Legends from the past or now present, it, again, really will depend on your preferences for size and height and everything else. For Spider-Man here, for the Red Hulk in general, I don't mind him being huge. However, the Hulk compared to like the Hasbro one, yeah, he's entirely too big. But again, in comparison to most Marvel Legends, like let's put Iron Man in the flight stand here, it really does look good. And I'm going to say that it really does fit, but he is more on the larger side. Now, moving on to the Vision. This is a really good looking figure. And plus, he's in that classic yellow and green Vision costume. And I really love that he comes with all these Vision effects, which you don't see a lot with other brand figures. But he does come with a hand blast, which is really cool. You got this energy. It is affixed to the hand. I don't mind that at all. In fact, I would prefer more accessories these days in the hands glued in so that I don't have to consistently swap everything. And much like the Red Hulk, don't be surprised if you see a little bit of paint coming off some of the hands within the peg joints. But he also has an outstretched hand, right? Because he comes with this really cool orange slice of a disc right there. It's very thin, but it's a nice see-through, kind of sort of, if that works. And overall, it's a really nice power effect. I'll show you all that in just a second. He actually comes with an extra head portrait, which is done nice. This is more of like, yeah, I'm a little peeved kind of a Vision. Maybe Wanda's messing with him, or, you know, she asked him last minute to go to the store. But what's really cool is that the little gem in his forehead comes out. Do it very slowly and make sure you don't drop it like I did and lost it for about 15 minutes. But as you can see, it comes out nice. Just put it somewhere when you're going to be wanting to swap for this really cool power effect. And again, over and over, if I can just stress this, Marvel, any type of superhero figures need to come with powers that accentuate what they do. And this is perfect. And simply just slip the Infinity Stone right back in there. And yeah, it's pretty darn cool. I totally dig that. Now with the Vision himself, to reiterate, with Marvel Select, they go more for the design, the paint, the look, the overall look of the figure over articulation. So again, he's not going to have a large amount of articulation points, but for the amount there, it certainly fits for the Vision and allows him to utilize all his powers. But again, he's got single joints, so keep that in mind. The boots, they'll swivel, they go up and down. Not so much in the waist, but he's got the ab. He's got a beautiful cape on the back, and I really like that wash. Again, Marvel Select is very much the old Toy Biz days, if you know what I'm talking about, and it certainly shows, and I appreciate that, especially in looking at the head sculpts. They're very detailed. They're painted great. So overall, yeah, I'm going to say that this is a great Vision in and of itself, but you're going to want to heat this guy up because of the single joints and the biceps and the arms and the hands and everything else. In some areas, they get a little stuck. Also, you won't be able to put his arms all the way down. I think that's one nitpick that I particularly have. He doesn't have a waist, which I totally thought he had a waist. Does he have a waist? No, he does not have a waist. But he does have a bit of a upper diaphragm sort of deal. You don't get much movement out of it, just left and right. It's simple. And then you got some thigh swivel, which again, let's try it on this side right here. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to tell you over and over. A lot of things, especially this week, I keep saying, toys in general, just heat them up. Don't stress anything. Don't force anything. You got double jointed knees. Some of the plastic need to be smoothed out a little bit right there. And he's got some good rock and up and down action for his boots. And that's what's really cool because you put him in a flight stand and he's off to save the world. But the energy effects, the powers, everything really enhances this figure. And I think that's what's lost a lot of days when you look at recent Marvel Legend figures. Powers make the figures. From the X-Men to Spider-Man to any character, villain, hero, otherwise, you gotta have powers and effects. Otherwise, it's just a person standing there. And when you pair him up with Scarlet Witch from, say, Marvel Legends, and you have that new energy effect right there on his forehead and a flight stand, that looks killer. I absolutely love the way that that came out. So very cool to see those two together. And in terms of setting up an Avengers display, if you want to put Vision here in a flight stand, have him hovering around, well, that totally works. However, I will say with feet on the ground, he's not going to scale perfectly with Marvel Legends 6-inch. You can totally fudge him in there. He's just a little bit out of whack with the 6-inch. He's a 7-inch figure. Just keep that in mind. But overall, when you kind of look at everything on display, maybe put him behind a few characters, yeah, ultimately, I think that he fits rather dang nicely. And now for our third and final figure of today, we have the brand new Beta Ray Bill. And this particular Bill, well, he's got that new costume, right, going on. But he does come with his Stormbreaker hammer. It's all one color. It's a nice gold, and it's got the strap, which is painted brown. So that's a nice little addition right there. Not too overly fancified, but it certainly does the trick, and he holds it quite nicely. But I will tell you this, the hand to hold the hammer was incredibly stuck. So heat it up a little bit and make sure you don't break off any of the fingers, right? Just FYI. But overall, simplicity is the name of the game. And when you want to spin this thing around, well, then you reach for this giant accessory right here. And that's pretty darn cool. Now, I know we've seen this before. Diamond Select kind of started it. We've seen other companies do it. But yeah, it just looks really cool. It's a nice effect of him swinging around Stormbreaker. And it's actually really easy. Just slip right into his hand, and he holds it very nicely. That's pretty cool. Now, you won't be able to get his arm all the way up. I'll show the articulation in just a second. But just that, right then and there, he's perfectly stable. It looks awesome. Heck yeah, that is a really cool looking Beta Ray Bill. I love that. That's awesome. Also, just as a heads up, I've seen some people say that this handle can snap off. I believe it's just glued in, so just be careful when moving it around. But I love that. That's a really cool effect. Now, with the figure itself, and I gotta tell you, I've always thought this about Beta Ray Bill. It's like a terrifying horse that's a corpse alien. Let's see how much he weighs compared to Red Hulk right here. Yeah, there you go. 1 pound, 1 point. Yeah, there you go. He's still, I'm telling you, they're both heavy figures. And like I said, he's got the more newer costume that you see Beta Ray Bill in, or at least for one of his newer miniseries. I love the cape. That's a Spawn cape if I ever seen one, and I like the shading that they got going on. It's a big, thick, heavy cape. It's really heavy to go with this heavy figure, and as far as I can tell, it's not removable, although it's just fixed somehow right there, probably glued in, and he's got his little space suspenders, and he's got his big old Trojan helmet right here, which is cool. It just really adds to the dramatic effect, especially in kind of how it's like billowing a little bit. You got his terrifying face right there, my god, and everything else that's the Asgardian armor. It's really done nicely. Nice shading overall, especially the red and the black and the feathering up there. And just in terms of the suit itself, the detail is there, the sculpt is there. Very much Toy Biz, right? And more, that's what I'm wanting to see with Marvel figures, or just figures in general. If you're going to be paying that higher price point, which these all clock in around the $30 mark, I would definitely say these are $30 toys compared to what is being offered nowadays. So in that sense, it's pretty solid. You're getting one heck of an action figure, and then again, one heck of an art piece, despite the articulation. He's going to be limited in some areas, especially in the waist, where his little space suspenders will kind of keep him from going all the way forward, all the way back, and twisting. The legs are pretty solid, but again, just to reiterate over and over, just heat them up. That's all I got for you. He's got single jointed knees, and he's got some good ankle rocker. And truth be told, talking about Toy Biz, the feet actually kind of reminded me of the old Toy Biz Apocalypse Build-A-Figure a little bit. He does have thigh swivel. I know that for a fact. Maybe not working on this side, but let's check this side. There we go. Can't make it easy on me, can you, Beta Ray Bill? In terms of scaling him with Marvel Legends. Now, Beta Ray Bill is a bigger character to me. I don't know necessarily that he's this big. He is out of scale for the more 6-inch figures, unless you just want a cool looking figure. And here he is stacked up next to Iron Man and Captain America. He's entirely too big, but maybe put him in the back just for a cool figure, right? But we do have one Marvel Legends figure that is a little bit taller at least, and he looks good with Galactus, right? God dang, that Galactus just looks awesome with any figure you put next to it, including, yeah, Diamond Select Beta Ray Bill, go figure. So that will wrap it up for my look at 3 of the brand new Diamond Select Marvel Select offerings. And again, thank you to Diamond Select for sending these out for the purposes of giving you guys this early look. I know some of these have already kind of hit. Again, I'll put links down in the description below for Entertainment Earth if you're interested. But if you haven't gotten them just yet, rest assured they should be out really any time now, if not today. You know what I mean? So, you've heard my thoughts. Now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Marvel Select. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, some of the best aspects of Diamond Select, Marvel Select figures is when they do the big jumbo characters, and they always look so dang good. I cannot wait to check out that new Apocalypse. That looks awesome. And when they do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.